Employee behavior across cultures. Managers in an international business need to understand what motivates people in different cultures, to understand both their employees and customers. Gert Hofstede is a social psychologist who identified 5 different dimensions along which people seem to differ across cultures. While individuals certainly vary within a culture, these dimensions are important to understanding general patterns of behavior within a culture. Social orientation refers to a person's beliefs about the relative importance of the individual versus groups to which that person belongs. At one end of the scale, we find cultures that focus on individualism, where the interests of the individual take precedence. People in the U.S., United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada tend to be very individualistic. Employees in these countries often respond favorably to rewards based on their individual performance. At the other end of the scale are collectivist cultures, where the interests of the group take precedence. For example, in Mexico, Greece, Hong Kong, and Pakistan, employees are more likely to be motivated by a reward system that benefits their work group as a whole. Power orientation refers to beliefs that people in a culture hold about the appropriateness of power and authority differences in hierarchies such as business organizations. In a country with power respect, people are likely to accept the power and authority based on someone's position and are less likely to challenge their decisions. France, Mexico, Japan, and Brazil are countries with power respect. At the other end of the scale, a culture with power tolerance, individuals assess authority in view of its perceived rightness or their own personal interests. People in Germany, New Zealand, Ireland, and the U.S. tend to exhibit power tolerance and may be more likely to challenge authority. The dimension uncertainty orientation refers to the emotional response to uncertainty and change. In many cultures, there is a high level of uncertainty acceptance, and people exhibit a positive response to change and new opportunities. This term has been used to describe people in Denmark, Canada, Hong Kong, and the U.S. Customers in these countries may be more likely to accept a new work routine or a redesign of their favorite store. However, in a culture with uncertainty avoidance, people prefer structure and a consistent routine. Countries such as Germany, Peru, Japan, and Israel are described as having uncertainty avoidance. The 4th dimension of Hofstede's model is goal orientation, the manner in which people are motivated to work towards goals. At one end of the scale is aggressive goal orientation, where people place a high value on material possessions, money, and assertiveness. As you can imagine, the U.S. as well as Mexico, Italy, and Germany often exhibit moderately aggressive goal behaviors. People who adopt passive goal behaviors place a higher value on social relationships and quality of life. In countries such as Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, individuals tend to exhibit more passive goal behaviors, and more assertive behaviors may be poorly received. Finally, time orientation refers to the extent to which members of a culture adopt a long-term versus short-term outlook on work and life. In countries with a long-term outlook, including Japan, China, Hong Kong, and South Korea, employees may be willing to work for many years in hopes of receiving a reward. At the opposite end, people in West Africa and Pakistan prefer jobs that offer more immediate rewards. On this dimension, we find that the United States and Germany fall somewhere in the middle. By understanding the culture in which it operates, a business can more effectively attract and motivate employees, and can do a better job of meeting the needs of its customers. Hofstede's model for the 5 dimensions of national culture is a powerful tool for describing and understanding these differences.